Hi there, I hope you're doing fine. Saturday, 13 November 19, beautiful day, cold day. So today we are just going through the editing process in Final Cut. So this is the second part of the video itself. You can just then see the first part here when I covered how you just import the video, how you just create proxy, and how you just prepare your file. Now, here I have the project which is ready. Just maybe resize this. You can then use this to resize your timeline and just have a better view of the video. So everything here is set to view. That's okay. I'll just maybe put that here on fit. That's okay, 60%. And I have all the details. So before I just go through the whole process, maybe I'll just show you maybe some feature on Final Cut Pro. So you have then, as I showed it the last time, all the footage on the timeline, as you see. Then I consider that I just watched them all, so I have an idea about what are the footage here. There is also a way to prepare the footage, so you just can go very quickly through them. That will be another video later. Just stay connected to the channel and just subscribe here if you want to be updated when I have this video about how I organize file when I just go editing on Final Cut. There are a lot of interesting things to learn about that. So just I can go very quickly. So you have then here all the project and all the library are then set. You have all the footage which are on my library here. And you have then here the footage. Then you have all the file here, and then you have the timeline here. So I just dragged everything as I showed it, every file here on the timeline. Now what I will do before to do that, I just ensure that I just made maybe a first selection, just maybe some selection about the quality, so that things I can just go very quickly through them. For example, when I just do that here, I see that here usually is always out of focus. So this one automatically delete. There is no way I can just work with that. Maybe for the sound later, but now just making the video. So when I just put all the footage together, I see this one, which is then the villa where I work, which came then later. It came later in the timeline. Here it is. See, I just dropped, and if I just take it further here, it automatically adds this square here, which is the way that Final Cut fill the gap. When there is a gap, when I create a gap like that, then you have this file here, which is basically some kind of empty space. And I can then drag down, just cut it, edit it. That can help me to just really create some space between the files themselves. So just go here from what I have with Julie. So these are the two first, which is then when she tell about how she created this new shoot. So just I pinch here on my trackpad just to extend, see here, the timeline. So I can zoom on it. So she begin to speak here, maybe just adding some sound. So this is not the part I want. I know this footage, so and then here I'll just then edit. So what I want just to start for that part with Julie explaining what she had. We don't need to have my question, to have this kind of thing. I ask her to just tell the story as she talking to friends. So just you see here, I can just really have. You see here the little graph here. It's really the sound. It helped me to position myself. So just start, for example, here. Just position here, and just then listen.
And how you get from getting the model? For example, where did you begin to think?
So there is something here. I see on the sound.
You can go.
So this is the I can do. I know that she introduced herself.
So I get this idea because I was working. So
here it is. So just then zoom way deeper. The way I'm just editing, you see, when I just need to catch a phrase, I use that one to just figure out when she is talking. Here it is. I just position, so now she's starting to talk here. I just put, you see the cursor, I just put the cursor here, which is white. Yellow one I just over. Just maybe remove these. And then I just start.
I get this idea because I was...
So I like to start here, so just position here, and then I will use the B on the keyboard, or you can, which is here, or you also can use this one. You can find all the tool here, but I'm fine for this one to use the keyboard, which is then this one here. So just use the B, and then the B I will just then cut the footage, and then I can just go back here to select or I can on the keyboard type A, and then I can just go back to the cursor to just select my cursor. And just this cursor will help me then to select the footage I want to work in. So you see, before that we have done one footage. Now we have 1 and 2. They're separated. So I'll just check out first if I want to keep something from here. It's me talking. It's me talking. Me talking. Not interested. Me talk. Oh boy, did I talk so much? Yes, I talk so much. So just checking out here. Okay, so it's just me talking, so I can remove it. So now I have a footage which is then starting here. You see, if I just play it here, and then I can just click here or on the keyboard space just to play the parts.
I get this idea because I was working as a model in Paris, and I saw photographers doing this kind of workshops in France, and then I got an idea to do it in Czech Republic too.
Okay, I'm not interested with my question. And the fun thing is just I think I begin to recognize when I'm talking, which is higher pitched, and this is when she's talking. So I guess that's it's okay. So just then roughly cut it here, and then again. Blah 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 blah.
How can you describe it? Tell us how it works well.
Still blah blah blah.
It worked.
So just then again, cut here. Again.
It works well because I started like 1 year ago, and in the beginning we do like one workshop in 2 months, and now we do like 3 workshops every month, so it's growing good.
Okay, now just you see the I have made it just here. You see that one here is the Look at that. Look at that one here. That's how my looks like.
Growing good.
So just then cut it here. And then just check out if I have something else on that footage I would be interested to use.
Yes.
Any project for your company?
No project.
Yeah, there is some spider net.
Oh, by the way, you listen this little this is my Nikon Z6. So I'm using a microphone with just on the top of that. So I have to figure out where is it coming from. For me, it's either could be the autofocus or it could be just the stabilization. And I have to figure out and find a solution for that. So I think that there is something else. Nothing else here. So just start. Maybe this one is a bit short. So just, for example, she's talking about the train. So just see, I'm pinching and then on the trackpad and then.
So you say you can describe the location we have here.
So again, there is another way to cut there is another way to trim a footage. So I'll show you how I use the B to cut it, and just before, after, and then remove the part I don't want. When I select a footage, you see it's becoming here just yellow. See, it's completely selected. I can use something which is that one here. I take one border. You see, it's only one side which stays yellow, and then I drag it up to the position I want it.
This location is old railway station, and you can see here several old trains and big models with these trains sometimes.
It is, so I don't want to go further than that. So here, this is, yes, okay, so I have a message, I think. So now I will show you something else. So I can just then trim this one as well. But before I trim, if I just do it here, it's in red. The reason behind that is just because there is no more footage after that. That means that in the end, I can only go to one direction. So for this one, it's red. I grab it and I drag it. Here we go. And then I have the full footage. So for this one, for example, she's talking more about the location itself. Okay. So here, for example, she's talking about the train location. And I will now then add some B-roll, some just footage I have taken from the train station itself. So I just maybe pick something. So I really like this one. So I just take, for example, this one, B, I cut it. And then here we go. I take it to here. I like the idea of just going to the train, this one. So here, so you see, just then cut before, and I cut then just after, and then I can take it and I can drag it. So just then reduce and then take it here. And then I have, for example, but what will happen? You see, I have the sound here, which is what you see here, and I have sound there. But on this one, I don't want to keep the sound. Sound on sound is not really necessarily a good thing. So I am using the control or the right click. Here it is, right click, and then I can go to detach audio. And now you see that footage. Now you have then the video, which is on one side, and the sound, which is on the other side, and they are independent. I can move them separately, or I can delete it. It is. Now if I watch this footage, for example, I have this one.
This location is old railway station, and you can see here.
I just then check what I have. I have then the train. Or maybe then take another footage, which is then, because I want this one, starting with the blur. That's interesting. So I want to start with the blur on this one. So for example, we just then use the keyboard, the key on the keyboard. You see the left and the right key, just to move frame by frame until I get what I want. So I want to avoid, you see, the light which is here. I want to something to start on the dark, because I just made, here it is. So I know that I want, here, this one. And I will then just keep going to the train. I want to go up to here. So now what I will do, and then I cut it, so I just now upload it. Now I will put it here. But I need to create a transition between both of them. So if I just have this one, just also remove the sound, because I don't need the sound for this one. And how it looks like. Just what I do, I just don't go watch from the beginning. I watch always the last minute. It's really more easy, because you don't waste time to just watching everything from beginning. So here, just instead of going to here, I'll just go start watching from here. So here, just playing.
This location is old railway station, and you can see here several old trains, and we can shoot models with these trains sometimes.
So now what I want, I have those two footage. I want to create a fade. I can use, you have a feature here, which is then this one, excuse me, see this one, where I can use some cross dissolve, but this is not what I want. I want to fade out on black, and then to fade in here in this one. So the way I will do that, I've just then maybe cut this one, I just maybe tidy here, do that one here. I then separate the sound here. I detach audio, because that allows me then to drag this one here. You see what I was telling, everything is magnetic. If I put it, everything is linked together. So I just then take it here, just keep the sound, here we go, it's magnet. Then I remove, so I have only the footage here. I would just then do the same here. When I put it in the between, it's just pushing everything as it needs. And for this one, I want then fade to the black. So I just do it manually. So just select the last. Here we see, here it is. This is the last frame of the footage. Then we choose the opacity. I want 1 second one, so 1, 2. So just, for example, here I'm 54, 31, so just go to 33, 1. I will add, you see here, a second one. And every time I have a keyframe here, I have a key point, something happens. So if I just stay here on the key point here, it's 100%. Can go to the next key point. I want to go to 0%. Now I'll show you how it goes. It is.
We can shoot models with this trend sometimes.
Fade in, fade out. And now I just do the same here, which is then ensure that I'm on the first one, so that add a key point on opacity. I will go at 55.1. 55.1. I will just add a new one, and then I will go to the previous and then putting it to 0. So now if you watch that, we have then.
And you can see here several old trends, and we can shoot models with this trend sometimes.
Here we go. You notice that there is no sound because this is the footage where I removed the sound. For this project, I decided to do a sound editing later. Then we have then the traveling, and then I just then keep going, adding some footage, moving the footage. For example, I have the yellow train, and then want to put the yellow train just after this one, and I want to check out. So just editing to the train. We're on the right angle. Oh, this was actually the footage I just took from the other side. And then I can add, I want to show, for example, another angle of the train. We have this one. Here it is. This is the one I wanted to take. So just then take it from here and then add it right after that one. So I want to start when we have, you see, when I want to navigate, I'm not clicking, I'm just on the trackpad, moving on my trackpad. So this one shows me the last position I have selected, and then here it is. So I want to start with that one, the train on the third. So just take it, see now I clicked, so I just move this cursor here. That helped me because I keep everything magnetized, which means that when I take that, boom, it's just really about here. Anyway, the wind blows. Here we go. This is the message, and then just check out you have later, and then we get out on this one, and then I will just here we go. So now I show you now that how you just really create. You move the file, you trim them, you add them, you separate them. So this is the technical part of the job. Of course, editing is not moving randomly the file. The next video would be, there will be 2 videos on the next weeks. The first one will be about how I edit to a script. It will then take you to how I just translated, how I just edited the script, like Candice here can watch a movie just there. And I just used that script when I was editing on the timeline. And later there will be also another video which is then the sound and editing, and mostly also how I edit to music, because this is a very, very specific feature. If you want to see all these videos, to see what's happening, learning all these things, and also following me to a lot of travel, which I'm planning to do from between now and next year, just subscribe, the button is here, and believe me, you will be thrilled by my content. Cheers!